life when you're just a pretty face.
Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Don't be scared if you don't fit in. Look who's in the reject bin. It's the Raggy Dolls.
Raggy dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy dolls.
Dolls like you and me. Raggy Dolls.
Raggy dolls,
Raggy Dolls.
Raggy dolls.
Made him perfectly. So if you got a bump on your nose or lumps on your toes, do not despair. Be like the Raggy Dolls and say I just don't care. 'Cause Raggy Dolls,
Raggy dolls,
Raggy Dolls
Raggy
are
dolls.
happy just to be Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls, dolls like you and me. It was very early in the morning and Dotty was out jogging. She liked jogging. All kinds of ideas came into her head as she ran. Suddenly, she stopped. "That's it," she said out loud. "That's what we'll do." All the other Raggy Dolls were still fast asleep when Dotty came puffing in. "Come on, everyone, wake up!" The Raggy Dolls yawned. "Come on, gather round," said Dotty. "What's up, Dotty?" said Back to Front sleepily. Dotty took a deep breath. "I think we should move." "Move? Where?" cried all the Raggy Dolls. "To a new home," said Dotty. "What's wrong with the reject bin?" asked Sad Sack, who liked things the way they were. "We've lived here all our lives," said Dotty. "It's time we had a change." "Where else is there?" asked Lucy nervously. "There is France," said Claude. "Don't be silly," said Dotty. "I don't mean move abroad. I mean move somewhere more exciting, that's all." "Oh, yes, like a palace," exclaimed Princess. "Where are we going to find a palace?" said Sad Sack. "I don't know," said Princess, looking upset. "I just thought it would be nice." Sad Sack started to look upset because he'd upset Princess. "I need to cool off and have a wash," said Dotty. "Why don't you all draw the kind of home you'd most like to live in? Then we can choose the best idea." The Raggy Dolls agreed and set to work. Lucy drew a mushroom house, the kind that fairies are supposed to live in. "I'd like to live in a potting shed," said Back to Front. "You know, with lots of handy tools hanging on pegs." Hi-Fi drew an eagle's nest at the top of a cliff. "That's where I'll get the best reception on my headphones," he explained. Claude drew the Eiffel Tower. "It's ever so difficult drawing palaces," said Princess. "I've finished mine," said Sad Sack. The Raggy Dolls crowded round to see what he'd drawn. "Oh, it's just another reject bin," said Lucy. "Well, I like reject bins," said Sad Sack. Just then, Dotty came back. She looked at all the drawings. "They're all very nice ideas," she said, "but they are only drawings. I shall go jogging again and keep my eyes open. With any luck, I'll find an exciting new home by supper time." Dotty jogged a long way. She passed a rabbit warren, but all their burrows were occupied. New rabbits kept being born, and they took up a lot of space. There was no room for Raggy Dolls. Dotty passed a beehive, but it was full of bees. She passed an old barrel, but it smelt of stale beer. On and on she jogged. She wouldn't give up. "She's been away ever so long," said Lucy anxiously. It was supper time, and Dotty still hadn't come home. Outside, rain clouds were gathering in the sky. "Don't worry, Dotty knows what she's doing," said Back to Front. "Most of the time," agreed Hi-Fi. "Is there any more soup?" asked Sad Sack. Claude dished out second helpings. Then it was time for bed. The clock chimed midnight, and still Dotty hadn't come home. "Is anyone awake?" whispered Princess. "Moi," said Claude. "I have not, how you say, slept a wink." "It's very odd," admitted Back to Front. "Oh, I'm all of a tremble," agreed Lucy. Now, all this time, Dotty had been sheltering. When the rain began to fall, she'd climbed into a hole in a tree. Squirrels had stored nuts in it through the years, so it had a musty smell, and it was full of bird droppings. It wasn't much good as a shelter, because after a while, the rain blew in and seeped down through cracks in the bark. "Oh dear," said Dotty. It didn't stop raining all night. The rain fell steadily, soaking into the ground till it turned boggy. It made streams where there were paths before. The streams joined up and became puddles. The puddles turned into pools, and by morning, the land all around Dotty's tree was flooded. She could hear the water lapping round its roots, and when she looked out, she saw that it was still rising. Soon it would be spilling into her hole and flushing her out. Dotty couldn't swim. "Raggy dolls," she called. "Raggy dolls, to the rescue, please." "Wake up, everyone. There's a message coming through on my headphones. It's Dotty," crackled Hi-Fi. "At last," cried all the Raggy dolls. "Has she found an exciting new home?" "I don't think so. She's saying Raggy dolls to the rescue," spluttered Hi-Fi. The Raggy dolls looked out of the window. The flood waters reached right into the factory yard. It looked as if they were living in the middle of a great lake. "Whatever shall we do?" wailed Lucy. "We'll have to build a raft," said Back to Front. "No problem." Luckily, Mr. Grimes' workshop was full of planks and nails. The Raggy dolls set to work. Hi-Fi and Claude hammered in the nails while the others fetched more planks. Back to Front borrowed a whisk from the canteen. "What's that for?" said Sad Sack. "We can use it for a propeller," said Back to Front. Meanwhile, the water around Dotty's tree rose higher and higher. "Help!" she called. "Can anyone hear me?" Hi-Fi called, of course. "To the rescue, please! Help!" "We'd better hurry up," said Hi-Fi. "Dotty's getting desperate." The Raggy dolls worked even harder. At last, the raft was finished, and in no time, they were afloat. Back to Front and Claude worked the handles of the whisk, and it began to propel the raft. Slowly at first, but then it began to gather speed. "Oh dear, I do hope we're in time," thought Lucy. "I hope I don't get seasick," thought Sad Sack, looking very unhappy. Hi-Fi listened on his headphones and worked out which direction Dotty's voice came from. "Raggy dolls to the rescue! Help!" cried Dotty. For once, she didn't sound bossy. "There she is! I see her!" cried Lucy. "Where?" "There!" "Oh, yes! She does look upset!" exclaimed Princess. "Chin up, Dotty!" called Back to Front as he whisked the raft nearer and nearer. He stopped it just under Dotty's tree. "Can anyone help me down?" asked Dotty in a small voice. "No problem," said Back to Front comfortingly. "Thanks very much, chaps," said Dotty when she was safe again. "Were you thinking of that hole as our new home?" asked Lucy. "No," said Dotty. She looked at the cold grey water and shivered. "I'm a bit tired after my night out," she said. "Let's talk about all that later." So Back to Front steered the raft home again across the lake. After some toast and marmalade and a strong cup of tea, Dotty felt more like her old self. She collected the drawings that the Raggy dolls had made the day before and spread them out. "I think I'll give up jogging for a day or two," said Dotty. "Drawing is much more fun." "Does that mean you don't want to move anymore?" asked Lucy. "Move? What for? Drawing is much more exciting." "Eh oui, and not so dangereux, n'est-ce pas?" said Claude with a grin. "I don't know what you mean, Claude," said Dotty crossly, "but whoever thought of moving was a very silly Raggy doll." The Raggy dolls giggled quietly and got on with their drawing.
It's not
much of a life when you're just a pretty face. Just to be whoever you are is no disgrace. Look around and you will find people of every kind, like the raggy doll,
Raggy doll,
raggy doll,
raggy dolls.
dolls like you and me. Raggy doll,
Raggy doll,
raggy doll,
raggy dolls.
made him perfectly. So if you're not at ease with your knobbly knees and your fingers are all fussed, stand on your two left feet and join